Good morning to you all. How was the night? Hope it was good. This is your lecturer, Mrs. Omogiade, and I'm here today to take us on MLS 415. MLS 415. And we're going to be looking at principles of analytical techniques in clinical chemistry. Principles of analytical techniques in clinical chemistry, devising new techniques, biological trials, and tests for acceptability. So before we start, we'll look at what clinical chemistry is. Now, clinical chemistry is also known as chemical pathology. You know, this chemical pathology specialty can also be called clinical chemistry, as we are saying. Now, it's a division of pathology that deals with observation and investigation of biochemical changes in the human body. It is a division of pathology that deals with observation and investigation of biological changes in the human body. Of course, we know that there are a lot of things that go on in the human body. Yes. You know, for example, the food you eat your food as carbohydrates, but the body does not just use it as carbohydrates. So some processes have to be undergone, or the food has to go through some processes in order for it to be broken down into chemical substances that the body cannot make use as energy for the body. So that is just an aspect now. So in clinical chemistry, we look at the observation and investigation of biochemical changes in the human body. So if these glucose are supposed to be taken in as carbohydrates and broken down at the end of the day being used as fuel, if somebody is now eating and the body is not using glucose, something is wrong somewhere. Or probably the body is overproducing the glucose. There is a problem somewhere. So we look at the observation and investigation of biochemical changes in the human body. Now, under the analysis we do, take note, we are treating analytical chemistry. Under the analysis we do, it has to pass through three processes. Analysis passes through three good processes. The first one is the pre-analytical stage. Then it has to pass through the analytical stage. Then also it has to pass through the post-analytical stage. So I'm going to be giving us little things about these stages. There's no sample that comes to the lab that doesn't go through these three stages. No. So it's all the tests we do, all the analytical tests we do, or whatever we do in analytical chemistry must go through these three processes. So when we say pre-analytical, what do we mean? Pre-analytical are those procedures that take place before the analysis. Those procedures that takes place before analysis are termed as pre-analytical stage or processes. For example, a patient comes to the lab. The kind of container you have to use falls under pre-analytical. If somebody is coming for glucose estimation, of course you know that you are supposed to use a fluoride oxalate container, not using the potassium EDTA or some other sample bottles we use in the lab. Or let's assume somebody is coming for other analysis. For example, use electrolyte urea and creatinine. Of course, we know that you can either use your plain bottle or you use your lithium heparin, which is the blue container bottle, not the green one. So all these falls under pre-analytical. Then also, the right way of collecting sample falls under pre-analytical. Then making sure that this patient that came in, the person's name is noted down, or if the sample was sent to the lab, making sure that the form, the name on the form and the name on the container tallies. So there are so many things that fall under pre-analytical. So that is for pre-analytical, the things that happens before analysis. Now we move to the analytical phase or stage. This is all the processes or all the things that are done during analysis. You are analyzing sample, there are some things you should take note of. Definitely making sure that you are using the right reagent, making sure that the test tubes you are using are clean, making sure that you set your equipment at the right wavelength. I hope we're taking notes. You are making sure that you prepare the right amount of sample, or reagents. So there are so many things that happens under analysis. So the sample must go through these processes. Then after this, it has to go through the post-analytical phase. Analytical. We are now also looking at